Would you agree it'll go down to one of the low points of during the high point of WCW?
Yeah, I think a lot of people could argue that this is maybe the beginning of the end show. You know, lots of people would argue that that really happened when Goldberg was defeated at Starrcade 98. Some people would say, oh, it started at Starrcade 97, but that's not true. The business was through the roof in 1998. They did a lot of big stuff in 1998. So I would say that this situation, and that's what I've got to call this pay-per-view. This was a situation. It really kind of got out of hand, and I feel like was the beginning of the end. But that's what we're here doing. We're breaking this down. In case you haven't been paying attention, there is a silly segment that if I didn't ask you about it, everybody would be furious with me. Okay. Hulk Hogan doing the backstage promo with the mirror when it's two-way glass and you see the Ultimate Warrior on the other side, but no one else in the room can see the Warrior. Only Hulk Hogan and us at home possess this special power to see the Ultimate Warrior. Who booked this shit?
You can credit Hogan and Bischoff with that. You know, Hogan pretty much did his own thing, and that was his idea. Look, can you remember the Ultimate Warrior? I know you can. The Ultimate Warrior in the WWE, and remember all the interviews that he did?
Oh, sure.
And how none of those interviews, if you really stop and think about it, made any fucking sense at all. So why did anything he did with us, any of his angles, make any sense at all either? I always thought the Warrior back in the WWE days, when I would listen to one of his interviews, one of his promos, I would scratch my head thinking, Jesus, you got to smoke some dope to be able to listen to that shit. And then as we moved on and he disappeared and he vaporized and the Hogan behind the mirror thing, I got to thinking, well, it's all part of this Mystique Warrior shit that we don't understand anyway. So who booked this shit? That was Hogan and Bischoff together coming up with that. And yeah, it was silly. But again, with the exception, look, I don't want to shit on Jim Hellwig because he's dead, but with the exception of his look, a lot of the stuff that he did was kind of fucking silly. Don't you think?
Well, yeah. I mean,
yeah, this mystique and this talking and all this shit.
But a lot of wrestling is silly, though. I mean,
well, I know, but this was like far out silly. This was far out silly.
I mean, you guys killed the Giant and then you pushed him off the top of a building, and then you brought him back 20 minutes later, and then a mummy came out and tried to do butt stuff with Hulk Hogan.
Right.
So in that same frame, this doesn't seem that crazy.
No, it does not.
We've got a live crowd shot here as we pan left to right, and I'll let you take it from here, Tony.
We're going to go to the ring with Michael Buffer. Take a look at this gigantic crowd at the MGM Grand Garden Arena in Las Vegas, Nevada. One of the great towns of WCW back then. Wouldn't you agree, Conrad?
I would. I always enjoyed Halloween Havoc taking place in Las Vegas. It seems like a kind of a random town for pro wrestling, but I really enjoyed that Havoc was there. I enjoyed it in 96, 97, and now here we go. Hogan with the feather boa. Where did he get this, and when did Fredericks of Hollywood run this special for it?
This may have been a smack in the face of Jesse the Body Ventura, if you want to think about it that way. He certainly always gave Hogan some unkind commentary through the years. I thought Hogan, and I think right here, take a look at Hollywood Hogan coming into the ring. I thought he had a great look here, a great heel look. Don't you think so?
I love the black beard and the blonde mustache. I know it gets criticized a lot, but it's so over the top. It's everything that's right in wrestling.
Exactly.
I've always loved Hogan's fingerless gloves here, and he usually finds somebody in the front row who looks out of place, at least from this era of wrestling. Maybe it's an older lady or something like that. And he has fun with it, which I think is so 70s wrestling. It's everything right about professional wrestling.
No question about it. Hollywood Hogan in the ring. And now we take a look back at one of the angles, where he hit his own blood, Horace, in the head and gave him 11 stitches in the head. In the head. What the hell were we thinking about back then?
How much of a waste is the black and white NWO right here when you get a wide shot there and you see Stevie Ray and Virgil and Scott Norton and Horace and its position? I mean, this is not even B crew. This is C crew of the NWO. No disrespect to those guys individually. They all had great careers at one point, but it feels like when you're starting with Hall, Nash, and Hogan, and now you're to Virgil, things have
you don't need to be in the ring with those guys, do you?
No, you don't. Tony,
no.
How would you describe fuck money?
Buck money?
Fuck money.
Fuck money?
Yeah.
I would never say fuck money.
What about meat sauce? Where are you on meat sauce?
Meat sauce?
Meat sauce.
Jesus, what the fuck are we talking about here?
Virgil is all about that meat sauce and that fuck money.
Okay.
You're out of the loop on this?
Yeah, I'm not in the loop. Thank God I'm not in the loop on that.
Is Klondike Bill shaking that pumpkin right there?
No, he's not. Here he comes. The ultimate. Well, can't say that. Fuck, I'll get sued. The Warrior making his way to the ring. And I think he's waiting on Pyro. He's still waiting on Pyro. And as you can tell, he didn't get it right there as his arms went down. Oh, there's the Pyro. Thank God there was Pyro. And I'm not so sure the fans are really into this as we are announcers, Conrad. Would you agree right now? As a matter of fact, I think there are a lot of people that are cheering for Hogan more here than they are for the Warrior. And may I say, as you can tell right there, God bless Jim Hellwig. He's blowed up running to the ring.
Well, I think the crowd is very much, at this point, probably over it. This feels like something from yesteryear when you got a guy who's all excited and shaking and running the ropes. It feels very 1988 as opposed to 1998. And so I think a lot of people are looking like, are we in a time machine right now? What the fuck are we looking at?
Well, we're in a WCW time machine, as we know. And Hogan, who said, I thought you were dead, say, I'm going to kill this guy.
Multiple times.
Right. Going to kill this guy.
How many minutes of stalling are we going to do here, Tony? In a show that runs over 20 minutes, we've got several minutes of stalling here.
Several minutes of stalling, nothing going on. I can understand Hogan being concerned because he's a heel here, but for Christ's sake, let's get the match going on here. You know what I wonder sometimes when I see these people at ringside? You know, a lot of these kids at ringside now are they're like 30 years old. And they're just a bunch. Well, that lady probably right there is in a nursing home.
Is that Lois?
But that's Lois? No, that's not Lois. Lois never came to a wrestling event. Ever.
You're a good husband. You're smart.
Yes, I am.
You're still married.
There is the Warrior just trying to get his breath back, and Hogan wasting his time. Remember, I was there, and I mentioned to Bobby the Brain Heenan, I was there at what is now Rogers Center, a Sky Dome, when these two guys met the first time. I was working Coliseum Video. It was my last event for the WWE, and I remember watching this match thinking, Jesus Christ, these guys pulled this off. Well, lightning ain't going to strike twice in this one, I don't think.
No.
Right now, Nick Patrick asking the Warrior if he's okay, if he can breathe, and he's still blowing, as you can see, and they are going to hook it up here in just a moment. Hulk Hogan, Ultimate Warrior, Hollywood Hogan, if you will, against the Warrior here. Jesus Christ, would you jump down and let's get this fucking match started? See, I'm thinking that at that time.
As a reminder, folks, Kenny Powers is your referee.
Who's your referee?
Kenny Powers.
Kenny Powers. Is your referee.
Kenny Powers is your referee.
Okay.
Hulk Hogan in the corner here trying to salvage whatever he can of this black and white NWO.
Yeah. And he's calling spots right now, telling him, here's what we're going to do. And the Warriors, I have no idea what you're saying. And now Hogan pulls off, and the Warrior beats his chest. And really, no one. Okay, now, oh, my God.
I'm glad.
Look at this body.
I'm glad to see the Warrior got that Grim Reaper off his back. I was wondering how many minutes he'd keep it on when I didn't have to make a joke there.
Warrior looked great here, but by golly, we saw Scott Steiner, Big Papa Pump, about an hour ago, and he doesn't come anywhere close to that.
Yeah, Warrior has deflated here quite a bit, which is probably better for his health but it's not quite the same Warrior, which fueled a lot of the rumors that the real Ultimate Warrior died, and this was a stunt Warrior.
Really?
Yeah, lots of fans, lots of rumors back then that the real Warrior was dead, and this was not the real Ultimate Warrior.
Oh, well, maybe the Ultimate Warrior was not dead, but in about 10 minutes, you're going to see this match die. And now Hulk Hogan with a full arm dragon twist and the Warrior reaching back, doing as good a job as selling that he can do.
Help me understand. When somebody twists your arm and you slap the shoulder, what healing properties does that have?
It combats the pain that is in your shoulder. Oh, see, Bill Watts would kick my ass if you had me talk through a spot like that. Never have me talk through a spot like that again. All right.
Bill Watts got fucking fired. Just reminding
Yes, he did. And I hung around many years after that.
Kenny Powers getting the count here going.
Okay. Powers getting it. Hulk Hogan is going to waste some time. By this time in the match, we know this thing is going to be a fucking gigantic turd. We know it. Number one, Pat Patterson's not here to book the thing. And number two, they are just wasting too much time. And number three, they're both 8 years older. So, and
Warrior hasn't wrestled very much at all.
Right.
I mean, Hogan was wrestling once or twice a month here, but Warrior has maybe wrestled 24 times since then. I mean, probably a few more than that, but not a lot.
Yeah. Hogan does a pretty good job as a heel. Looks the part.
He's so underrated as a heel. People kind of want to gloss over his NWO run, I think. And I think for nostalgia purposes, people will always remember the red and yellow, but heel Hogan, man, was just classic stuff.
Warrior wants to do the test of strength,
which got us the famous, now infamous, I guess, blowjob gif of the Warrior's crotch head going crazy in Hogan's crotch in 1990. You think they'll be silly enough to recreate that spot?
Hogan wanted no part of it. So now he goes with the collar and elbow tie-up, puts him back to the corner, and back and forth. These two main event superstars are slugging it out. What's the referee's name again?
Kenny Powers.
Kenny Powers trying to break him up. Hogan will not have any of it. A knee right to the throat.
Warrior having air sex right now. Thrust, 1, 2. Thrust, 1, 2. He's doing 7-minute abs here. Oh, the dreaded finger lock.
Oh, now he'll do it, right?
He's got a
now
claw.
That no good son of a bitch will do it. Once he gets him down. Yes, sir. Great strategy here by Hogan. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, face in the crotch. Face in the crotch. Oh, thank God they broke that one. I was getting excited about it there for a minute.
Now that we know more about Hulk Hogan, do you think part of the strategy here was to sort of headbutt the Warrior with his thermos here? Do you think that's part of the strategy, to just full on Bubba the Love Sponge's wife thermos to the head? Bam! Out of commission. Out of wrestling, brother.
Let me take a breath here and try to get back into this shithole match we're watching. Oh, here comes the Warrior up. Here he comes up. Hogan trying to hold him off. What's he going to do? Oh,
nothing.
Right into the chest.
Can I make that? I need to make a confession here, Tony. I just realized 2 years ago that the Ultimate Warrior was supposed to be an Indian character.
Really?
I never put that together.
Well, you can tell by the tassels. There was something about him, okay?
Let me just go ahead and say, if that's not a T-shirt, there's no justice. We need a shirt that has tassels around the shoulder or around the arms that just says, clearly I'm Indian. I don't know.
No, it should be politically incorrect as you can be.
Oh my gosh. Let's just burn every potential sponsor right now. I mean, why don't you just do a rain dance right now? Ooh. Here we go. Here's where we are.
All right. Back up they go. And they have been selling this for way too long. Another full arm dragon twist. Now, is he patting no, he didn't. He just reversed it.
Nobody knows what they're doing. Look at this.
No one knows what they're doing. Oh, and I said here at this time, what in the fuck is going on with the crisscross? Oh, and a big slam. Yes, sir. So he'll sell it to the fans knowing full well that the Warriors back up, and he picks Hogan up and slams him down. What is this, all this gesture, these arm going back and forth like that?
Klondike Bill knows.
Here he comes. Oh, Hogan goes outside.
Hogan had to damn near throw himself over right there. He had his elbow hooked over the top rope for about 13 seconds. Like, what the hell are you doing? Come put me over.
Now
Hogan's waving him over. Hogan's waving him over. Send him over.
This.
Watch his hands.
Watch this. Here he comes. Come here, you dumb son of a bitch. Hey, get your ass over here. Thank God, here he comes.
We had 4 spots. How'd you forget 25% of them? Get over here.
Oh, Jesus.
Maybe he was trying to win by count out, Tony. It's a good strategy.
Yeah, maybe he was.
Is that
maybe he was.
Is that a little person in the front row right there?
What's that?
Is that a little person in the front row right there?
A little person?
I've missed this all these years. I never noticed there was a little person right there.
Okay. I'm not going to go there because I've already gone places I shouldn't go in this event. And a rake to the eye.
I mean, I can't believe you said that. This is 2017. People can hear us. Oh, not the post.
Oh, don't tell me he's going to juice. You're not supposed to juice in WCW. It completely ruined Uncensored a couple of years ago. And you're going to juice now? Ducking low.
Oh, my God. I liked Hogan at least knew, well, we missed. Let me go fix it and drop the knee. Hogan's a pro, man. He's underrated.
Damn right he's a pro. One of the worst rep bumps ever. And so he makes sure that that he is down. All right.
I like that he dodged the first one and then realized he had to take the second one.
He's calling in the troops. Who are we going to see come in here? I certainly hope it's somebody worthy.
Please let it be Chris Benoit and let this be a good match.
Okay. Oh, here comes the Giant.
Where are the cigarettes?
I don't know. He just, as a matter of fact, I'm going to go back and check in my locker room.
Oh no, he better not miss. Don't miss.
Oh my goodness. Oh, and down he goes. Oh, Giant takes a pretty good bump there.
That's super mobile right there, my friend. Look at Virgil. He's like, just come get me. Thank you. Everybody is like, I need to get off the screen as quickly as. Hey, if you can call him the Ultimate Warrior, I can call him Virgil.
And now, Hogan, you can't see this right now. Hogan's saying, "Get back over here, you dumb son of a bitch." There we go. 1, 2, 3. Match over. Thank God. Let's go to the next match. Oh, but it's not over. It's not over.
Mercifully, it's not.
Hogan's going to pick him up. Don't tell me he's going to try a belly-to-back suplex here. Yes, he is!
A wrestling move.
Shit.
A wrestling move.
An actual pretty damn good wrestling move. Cover him with some 1, 2,
What exactly
3.
did Nick Patrick see? What could Nick Patrick see from that angle with the thermos in the way? There's no chance he could see his shoulders.
Oh, well, you just gotta go with it sometimes here. And now he's going to work on the back. Now we are how many minutes into this match?
It's important to remind you that the slogan for Snickers was not going anywhere for a while, which is what I feel like we're doing with this match right now.
Hogan choking.
Look, he's air humping again. There he goes. He's Klondiking. Oh,
and he's got the belt. He's got the weight belt. And he's really kind of laying him in here.
Just kick the referee.
You know you're in a clusterfuck when the referee trips between the two guys.
Kenny Powers now Kenny Powers is trying to pull Hulk Hogan's hair.
Or he's gonna I'm gonna throw your ass out of here. Please do. But here comes the Warrior back. Selling the back, and Hogan goes to the eyes again. You'll notice here that the Warrior's paint is gone, just about.
Well, sure.
Because it's been a tough one, hasn't it, Conrad?
Did you help put his paint on since you were so good at lipstick and all that?
I was there when he put it on. Put it that way. How does that sound to you? Oh, missed an elbow drop. And he's gonna
wait. Here we go.
Elbow drop. Yeah.
I don't know what you'd call that. What would you call that? Stop, drop, and roll maneuver there, where
I don't know. Oh my God.
The roll.
This is worse than I thought.
Oh,
the big splash.
And he's doing the convulsions after. This is the worst match I've ever seen in WCW.
It is. And he oversold everything. I mean, Jesus, he's, give me.
Hey, you know what? Warrior didn't sell shit. He didn't sell moves or tickets.
Yeah. Well, you know what? But if you had somebody who could guide him through a match and tell him what to do, I'm not shitting on Hogan here, but now back and forth they go. As you can see, I think the fans on the far side are right now thinking, what in the fuck is going on here?
I think you could say Warrior, at least from my memory, had two good matches. Hogan at WrestleMania 6 and the following year with Savage at 7. Yeah. I think both of those were really good, by Warrior standards matches, his best two.
And what was probably the common denominator there, right? It was probably Pat Patterson.
Oh, yeah. I mean, the most underrated.
Oh, one of the greats. One of the absolute greats in this business. Oh, and he hits Hogan with the belt.
Now Hogan's going face down. I hope everything okay.
Oh, yeah, I hope so, too. Hogan seems to be injured.
I mean, he's been hit in the face with the belt. Now he's reaching into his Klondike area. It's not the thermos. It's a Ziploc bag.
What has he got in there? Are those his vitamins, brother?
It's a lighter. Snack? He's going to light the doob.
Oh, no.
Kevin Nash has told us about this. Here we go.
Well, pass it around. Oh, shit.
No, he just set a little miniature fire.
Holy Moses. Did they miss that spot or what? Warrior, but actually, it's probably the highlight of the night.
Warrior, very confused by this lighter situation, just kicks it out of the ring.
Oh, and you know what? As announcers, we have to say this. Wouldn't you agree, Conrad? Thank God that didn't happen. Thank God that didn't happen, because it certainly could have hurt the Warrior permanently for the rest of his life. Now he's up on top.
Instead of Warrior being scarred for the rest of his life, we are, because the match continues.
There's no question about that.
My favorite part of any Warrior match is when there's fireballs and top rope maneuvers. I don't know about you.
Why is he going up there again? Hogan's
to do a double axe handle.
Oh, Jesus. And he hits it. Oh, and Hogan's bleeding.
From a belt shot that he immediately popped up from and tried to set himself on fire with.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
And there's your 19th ding-dong shot.
Yeah. That was one of the things I took away from this show was the ding-dong shots. Great, tremendous clothesline. Hogan's going to drop the big leg.
When Reach for
Thank God it's going to end.
When that ding-dong shot happened, I have to assume the Warrior went. And there's Horace Hogan, who has been irrelevant in all of wrestling history, but now suddenly is a big piece of the match. When the centerpiece of Hulk Hogan Ultimate Warrior Part 2 is Horace Hogan, tells you what you need to know.
Oh, look, but the Warrior's coming back, Conrad.
He's a maniac.
Driving in place, and down goes Hogan. Down goes Hogan. Down goes Hogan. Stop me! I'm stuck. Down goes Hogan.
No, you're on your own. We're all stuck in this hell of a match. There's Eric Bischoff. Get out of here, Kenny Powers. We got to do something. I wish he could headlock us so we wouldn't have to finish watching the match.
Here comes Horace. Oh, he hit the Warrior in the back. With
a spray painted chair.
1, 2, thank fucking God. Oh, Lord.
You know what, though? The best part of the match hasn't even happened yet. So let's be clear here. On the most recent Nitro, Hogan hit this guy in the head. He picked up that jacket at the nearest Harley-Davidson outlet on the way to the show tonight.
Right. Put 11 stitches in his head that we're going to see here in a minute.
Yeah, and now, Kenny Powers is getting the business right over the top. Kenny's out of here. He's eastbound and down.
Okay.